And we're live. You're starting it this time. I want to
This
see. I want to see you do
this
it.
is productivity and procrastination, and I am James.
Oh shit, he did it right. And
This
I'm
is
Joe, and we are a couple of procrastinators looking to get productive.
we are currently working on codename Project Pancake, our
And
first
this is
project.
episode 28.
Look at that.
Did it sound right?
Awesome. Yes, it
Is it?
is.
It is right?
Gotta be. Yes, I think so. I don't really,
Yes, you are correct. As always.
nice thumbs up. Okay, so
I was playing with my camera.
yeah, in your fancy camera that moves, follows you.
Fancy. Fancy. Fancy.
I don't like to enslave technology to my whims.
Huh. All right. It's
Never
a weird
mind.
hill to die on.
More like, well, we'll just sidestep that hill.
Okay, so we had a week. We always start with me. Let's start with
Did
you
have
this
a
week.
week. Well, there's so much to talk about with my
Let's go
week.
through our goals. Remember, we had goals. Let's go
Yes,
through
I do
those.
remember the goals.
All right, James.
Okay. Well. I
So I want to preface this for the audience. We don't know how each other did going into this. Like, we don't talk about it.
we don't talk to each other. It's been better for both of our health. All right. I did less than I did last week, which was not very good last week. So, I would have to say that I failed a little bit. I did write a little bit this morning. I did get myself up. And I did write yesterday a little bit. But all in all, it was only like 700 and something words. So I didn't write as much. The first day I wrote, it felt pretty good. I did a decent chunk up
Which
that
was the
day.
first day you wrote?
Thursday.
So yesterday.
Yes, yesterday. It felt good. I was enjoying it, and then, but that didn't last too long. There were some things that came up this week that were problematic.
Extenuating circumstances.
Yes, it was.
Do you want to discuss what those
So,
circumstances may have been?
well, a mistake was made. I introduced Heather to a mod for 7 Days to Die called Darkness Falls. And, shall we say, she became addicted really quick, and the constant pressure of playing it instead of getting our other work done together. Photo shoots that needed to be done have been put on the back burner as we played that game a lot. So my expectations for my week, they are relegated to the D side again. And yeah, so I'll have to navigate that. now.
So yeah, I want to talk about my week, and then I want to discuss like plans going forward. So my week was pretty much like your week. I did get the list of things done that I wanted to change that we had talked about. Like I had gone through that list and like changed everything. Like I added the banana peel, I fixed the boxes, I made the orange juice a little bit better, I switched the lighting on the thing. But all in all, like that only took me like 30 minutes.
So did you finish page 2 like you were trying to?
No. I fixed those things on the list, and then I haven't. It's like I have time to do these things, and then I choose not to do them.
That doesn't sound familiar at all.
Well, like I'm trying to figure out what I can do to combat this because I'm in the same boat you are. It's like,
Right.
how do we break through this?
Well, the only place that I can go is rules for myself. I have to make rules for myself.
But I mean,
That's the only place I can go. I see what I'm doing, and I feel what I'm doing, and it felt good. We enjoyed it. We enjoyed that good game. But things have to change, so I need to decide how they're going to change. To me, that means rules.
what kind of rules?
Well, I would like to say that perfection is going to happen. Gaming wouldn't happen, but that's not going to happen. So, my rules would be what time I can allow myself to play versus not. And that way, I will be more likely to do the work. That's if I really want to get stuff done.
We had such lofty goals. Like, because
Yes.
on mine it says like you're gonna blow through your 800 words,
Right.
and you're gonna have more than 0 days feeling like a writer.
Yeah, I had an hour feeling like I was a writer.
And like I did even worse than you. Like I did draw this week, but not on what's important. And like I had mentioned that I wanted to do stuff during the weekend to get stuff done because it's hard to do it at work.
Yeah, how did that work?
My weekend was filled with stuff. I'm trying to even remember what I did last weekend. Friday we did stuff, and then Saturday I'm sure I did something.
I thought I saw you on Baldur's on Saturday.
It's
Did you play that a
possible.
lot?
Oh yeah, this week, yeah, I did. Baldur's Gate has taken a lot of time, and it's rough. It's hard for me to make time to do what's important to me, and even when I do have time, it's hard for me to choose it. So like this morning I had to go, I dropped my car off this morning to go get like an oil change or whatever at 7. I came back home at around 8ish, and I sat here for an hour doom scrolling rather than working on working on the project. Like it was in front of me. I looked at it and I was like, okay, that's looking okay. And then I turned my head and doom scrolled for like almost an hour rather than working on the project. And
Well, I know what
it's
that's like a
frustrating.
lot. However, I stayed up till 3 o'clock in the morning playing with Heather, and I set my alarm for 6:30, which I didn't listen to, but I did wake up at 7. Took a shower, and then once everything was kind of like started for the morning, I started writing. Um, and the only reason I did that was because I had a podcast to do, and I wanted to get something done
I know,
because I
like
felt pretty
this right
pathetic.
here feels like the only thing we are good at being consistent on.
Yeah, I mean, and do you realize this week I almost like in my mind I was like, dude, say you're sick. Like I
What?
wanted to. Like I was
Why?
like, you haven't done anything. You know you want to play some games with Heather. Like just say you're sick. And I was like, all the problems just go away. And I'm like, no, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I have to. We have been consistent at this. You're right.
And
What's going to change?
I want a clear path going forward because I am unhappy with how my week went.
My clear path going forward usually consists of me trying to change my entire life and and make serious goals and yada yada. Yours, I got no hope for you because yours is based on fun. So, I mean, somehow you've got to make that
Well, it's not. It's like it's
hugely.
when I start, I actually really enjoy it. It's just like going from not doing it to pushing this tip against my pad. It's like that bridging that gap is the hardest point because when I actually start working on it, I really enjoy it.
Yeah, that's the same as me. Um, can
So
I
how do
ask a
we
few
bridge that gap?
questions?
Please.
One, you said something that kind of a fatal flaw in my mind. You said you started doing stuff and then you looked over to your screen and doom scrolled for an hour. Why was that screen possible?
Cuz so I have this weird thing where like I'll open up whatever my when I don't want to be doing something, my brain will just like my hand will immediately move over to my second screen, open up Chrome and open up
Oh,
some sort of social media thing or something. It used to be YouTube. I removed that from my favorites so that I wouldn't go there. It used to be
mm,
Twitter. I removed that from my favorites so it wouldn't go there. And now it's been Facebook. And then I'll start watching the shorts on Facebook. And yeah.
okay. Well, when I am actually trying to work, there's only there is only Spotify, which the worst thing I'm gonna begin doing there is listening to our podcast for the week, which I did this morning. Um, and then listening to music while I write. I didn't. I just listened to the podcast and then started writing. But perhaps, what is your what is your process when you actually start working? Do you get yourself a nice drink? Do you put on, like me, I put on some incense. I get a coffee or something,
I
and
don't have any I don't have any ritual.
okay. And part of my ritual is not opening up any of those things. So, I I have I know exactly what's going to be on this screen, and I know exactly what's going to be on this screen. And I don't deviate from that. I've defined it because I know I'm not going to spiral for however long and then forget, oh crap, spent 2 hours doom scrolling or watching survival videos on how to take iron bacteria and make like, okay, no. I don't need to know any of this stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. You may have to actually have a set thing that you do. Now, that's not going to take away from the wanting to do other things. I totally understand that. That's beyond that. But you're setting yourself up to fail if you open things to start, that can and have led to hours of wasted time.
Yeah.
Been there, done that. It's hard to say no to it. Totally understand.
Yeah. It really is.
Doom scrolling is like a national pastime now.
Dude, it's so bad. It's just like I threw away like an hour of my life. Like if I could go back, right? If I could go back that hour, I would have rather been like, okay, I know I'm not going to be working on the art. I might as well do something that I really enjoy, which is like, play Baldur's Gate or something. And not necessarily, spend an hour doom scrolling on Facebook videos.
Yeah, I want to do better. But it's like the rubber, has to meet the road. I know who I'd like to become as a writer, as a creative, and I know what I want to do also. I want to play really bad. Heather just died too again. Oof. But yeah, Darkness Falls was fun. She died. We were doing some house, just doing a quest. Should have been no big deal. We had good equipment, and all of a sudden, the hordes that come, like they're roaming around, are like 4 times the size of normal vanilla, and they are much more up to par. And so we're in this basement. And these guys just start. There's this hole, and guys just start flooding in up from the ceiling, and I, after a while, just got out. I just ran up the stairs, opened doors, got out, jumped in the 4x4, and left her to die. And but to be fair, there's a silent competition between us to see who dies first.
Is it silent?
It's not really silent, but it's fun. So we started a new one now, and now we're enjoying that. But anyway, so there is a lot of fun going on, but it stopped us from doing real work. We had, like I said, various things that we had planned to do for business, and we never did those. We've just been playing. She said she was going to work today. We'll see what happens when she wakes up at like 1 p.m. because I stay up till who knows when watching videos together. So anyway, a lot of fun. And so you got to counter that. How do we counter fun? And, I can pretend and say it's the same amount of fun. It's not. It's more fun to play, with her than it is to sit down and just get get work done right and stuff. Now, when I'm actually writing, like you said, it's fun in its own way. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit different. So to pretend like, how do I make fun equal so that or more than
Well,
gaming?
See, for me, it's
That's
just
gonna be
like,
hard.
I don't know, getting the pencil to paper is all I really need.
First step.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the rules will work for you then. When do you get up? And when do you... I think we
Getting
talked a
up is
while ago
hard.
that you said the beginning morning time was a good time for you to maybe
It would
potentially get
be
some
if I
stuff
didn't,
done.
it would be if I didn't wake up, like plan on waking up at 4 a.m. And then at 4 a.m. I'm like, and I go to sleep until 4:45 just before work starts. I get up, start my work at 5 a.m. and then work for 11 and a half hours, get off at 4:30 p.m. and then by that
11
time,
and a half hours.
I mean, there's 2 lunches in there, but holy crap, it just feels like
Yeah,
I
you can't really
work forever.
work much for... Yeah, it's hard to give up that third day though. Because you're really, that's the conundrum when it comes to choosing 4 10s versus 8, you know.
Yeah, you get more like every day versus like an extra full day off.
Right. So you have to really choose, at least one day out of your 3 days where you're going to get your production done. If you can't do that, then eights are better, because then at least you can maybe find a few days in there where you can sneak in, an afternoon, you know. But you have decided, and you probably don't want to go relent on that. And if that's the case, if you're not willing to go to the 8s, then
It's something I've been
you have to
considering,
choose.
but it's hard to like. It's hard to want. It's hard to like be like, oh hey, let me go to 8s, and then not knowing for sure if I'll like it or not, and then losing that third day if I can't switch back.
Yeah, exactly. So the other thing is, you say you get stuff done on Sundays for like house and, just buying things and
Yeah, taking
upkeep
care
and
of
stuff.
upkeep
Yeah.
of my life.
Can you switch that to one of the days during your week, so that right when you get off, you do all those things on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of thing? And therefore, maybe Sunday could become a day where you free up all of a sudden. You don't have to do any of those things. Giving up a minor day for a major day.
Like repurposing Sunday to just be like my work day.
Yeah. And you're like, dude, sorry, I can't game. Maybe I can game later on tonight, but I need to get my stuff done today as fast as I can. Maybe eat as I drive, get through a drive-through, eat in the car as you go, take care of other things, freeing up one of those, weekend days. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's what's gonna have to be. Yeah, I'm gonna make Sunday my day of just working. Let me try that this week.
yeah, let me know how it goes.
Let me write that down in my goals.
The major task is going to be, can you actually repurpose Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, one of those days? Can you actually say no and then do those?
So theoretically, yes. Theoretically, the only things I really have to make sure I take care of on Sunday are one load of laundry, which is just my load of laundry for the week, which is like, just my laundry and my bedding. And then I need to vacuum my floor.
Didn't you buy a robot for that?
I did, but I have to watch the robot because he's a little idiot. He'll like climb over shit. It's annoying. I have to watch him. Not watch him, but just like be in the room with him to make sure he doesn't break anything. And that's really my biggest things I have to do. And then Sunday night, I watch a movie with my friends at 5:36. So theoretically, I have all day Monday. Sunday. Yes. And this Monday, I actually have a little bit more time during the morning because it's a holiday. I'm still working the day, but I took some vacation for the first part. So I don't have to be until like 10-ish. A little bit before 10.
As for me, there is no hope. So at least you can repurpose your week. Me, I've gotta make decisions. And stop things. No, I mean, the hard part was that Heather really wanted to play a lot this week. So the problem was that I was pushing off my writing to be after we got done with our photo shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Which she kept on pushing off the photo shoots till the end of the week. So then at the end of the week, I'm like, crap. She doesn't even want a photo shoot tonight, which was Thursday. I'm like, when am I going to get anything done? Like, here I was thinking all my plans. I give myself, like, the theory was I was going to stay up. I was going to stay up after she's watching shows. I was going to stay up all night and write from like 1 o'clock a.m. till this podcast. Mm-hmm. Yeah, whatever. I went to sleep. I mean, so realistically, after this podcast is done, it's like I give myself a pass. It's like, oh, it's the weekend. I can do whatever I want, yada yada. I need to treat every day as if there's a podcast the next day so that I can at least put myself into check. I know today is pathetic and I'm not going to get anything done. It's a gaming day for me. But
what do you mean? Why?
Because I do make Friday a day where I could game a little bit.
What about Sunday?
Sunday I work more.
Thought that was your rest
go over. Day. Yeah, but I go visit my parents and
they put you to work.
It turns into just it's like, well, if we're out, we might as well go shopping. Then if we're going shopping, yeah, so it's like it feels like a day where I don't have to do anything, but I have to do everything. So it never really feels like a break anymore. So I've kind of turned my break day into Fridays, really. But anyway, so
I don't know how you feel about it. And we can discuss it after the podcast. But would you be open to working today, just like on the same call? Versus, like, we don't have to really be talking, but just like, working alongside of each other.
Well, I'll discuss it with you after the podcast.
Okay, sounds good. You guys will know next week what happened. Yeah, so let's talk goals for this week, because...
Let's do it.
I think goals are important, and I think an issue that I'm coming more and more... I'm going back to a lot is I need to make goals that are easy and achievable. Something that I can cross off. And they need to have a level of visual or like something I can like cross off and be like, okay, that's awesome. I got that done. And I'm trying to figure out
Mm-hmm.
what
Trying to
if,
figure out how to do that.
yeah, how to do that with a project like Project Pancake where I'm like painting this and I'm trying to like do this. What if instead of trying to break Project Pancake down into parts, what if instead I did work daily on Project Pancake?
Mm, I
That would
see what you mean.
encourage me. So I have draw daily, which is important to me, and then work daily on Project Pancake. So I'm splitting up my time here. And I'm also encouraging myself to work more frequently on it. And it won't be less of a weird thing to get that pencil to paper. It won't be like I'm overcoming something. I've already done it. Just yesterday.
Mm. Well, I am making a chart that has very like right. And a box for each day. Now, technically, it's hard to deal with today because it's like, do I count today as last week? I mean, I try to tell myself
I
anything
always
before the
start my
podcast is
things.
the week before.
Yeah. I
So
always start my week on Friday for the sake. So it always goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
yeah,
Which is like a
well,
weird
Friday
week, but
is
my
yeah, it is a
start.
weird week, but that's it's the only way to do it for
Yeah.
us. Um,
Because we record this on Friday mornings at 9 a.m. I know what time we
9 a.m.
start.
So writing, I think seeing a visual layout, as sad as it is, I'll show it. I mean, um, let's see if it can zoom
Oh, I
in
see it. I see it. I see it.
almost.
So basically, if you are listening, it looks like a bunch of like acronymed days, not acronymed, maybe it's acronymed, shortened days with little boxes below them.
Yeah, so then at least I can check off that I, you know, did that specific, very small goal, did I write? Okay, now beyond that, then there's the trackable aspect. I want to have word count possibilities for each day. So that way I can chart to see if there's a pattern there that can help me out. Less of, it's good data for me.
Mm-hmm.
I I had a total of, just do my math. 703 words
That's
last
not
week.
bad.
So I'm going to put 703 in the corner so that I can kind of have a good understanding of what my last week was like. And I also want to, I think it's kind of fun to grade myself. So I'm going to put a grade spot for myself. And that's how I'm going to do it. Days as a writer, I think I'm going to be able to tell that from my word count and my days that I check off. If I feel like one was especially good, I'll circle it and I'll be like, "Hey, man, I felt great this day." No, I'm going to write it down. Days as writer. I feel like there's some, you know, there's some power in just being able to go and evaluate myself realistically and go, hey man, did I really do what I'm trying to achieve here any of those days?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna keep that count. With those metrics that I have, it's pretty easy to see how my week went. So that's my thing. How was you?
So I was gonna ask, what grade did you give yourself this last week?
Very, very close to the same. I would have to say I felt like I did a D. I mean,
Just
I
like a
wanted to
flat
say
D, minus or
I
plus?
wanted to push it up to a D plus because I felt like I had a day where at least I enjoyed it. But realistically, a D or D plus. I mean, if I get a D or a D plus on a paper somewhere, I'm gonna feel just as bad. So
Yeah.
really,
For
it's
the amount of time I spent not working on a project when I had time when I had time to work on the project, I'm giving myself a D minus this week just for not doing what I wanted. I did some nice drawings. Like I did some drawings. They're nice.
nice.
It's not working on the project, and I want to separate the two for sure. And I'm excited to try the two separate drawing daily and work on the project daily, and then try making Sunday my like go hard day. So like ideally, right, I'm working every day on both drawing and working on the project, because I mean a real artist isn't just going to be like like an artist, a professional artist, one who works on their stuff all the time, like that's their profession. They're not going to, because I said real artists, which has some connotation to it I don't like. They're going to be doing a lot more work than I am on art, and I'd like to get myself to that place. So I want it to be part of my daily routine. And then having a heavy work day like Sunday I think will really help push the project along. So yeah, I'm happy with this. I want to keep this open, have it as an important part of my daily. That's what I'm looking at. I'm going to underline stuff to make it really pop.
I'm also going to try to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning every day.
Ooh.
I feel like today, I mean, yeah, it took me a little bit to feel like I was awake, but I feel like the day, is going to go better if I can get up early, and which means
you'll
I'll
have
keep
more
the
time in
night
your
in
day.
check.
Because when it becomes night, it's so much easier to like, okay, well the day's done. I can, do my own thing.
Right. It's true. So yeah, I think I don't have a lot to feel good about the last week when it comes to getting stuff done, but
I'm excited for the future. I've had a rough,
yeah.
I think a rough couple of weeks.
So have I.
No, wait. Sorry, my week before this one was pretty good. It's just this last week was rough. Last week was fine.
No,
This week is rough.
I wanted to think the last 2 weeks you've given yourself some negatives. But anyway, it doesn't.
Is it?
That's what I remember from listening to the podcasts. But
don't remember.
You know,
Maybe it was 2 weeks ago that I did. I don't
so
know.
I want to think 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks have been kind of rough for you, but
Yeah,
if
it's possible.
you know, either way, I mean, like I kind of have said in the past, I feel like it's all, kind of a sum game. Like it all adds together to be who we are right now. Who are you right now? Are you able to make some adjustments and you know get to that next who you want to be, or not? I think I'm on the verge, but I just always find something to you know make it so I never get to that next stepping stone. So I'm excited to see if making some of these little tweaks, like the 8 o'clock in the morning thing, because I know my wife will sleep in, so I know I'll have some free time
Nice. Yeah,
making these little tweaks. So
I think this week focusing on making sure that drawing and working on the project are daily activities will solidify it as a habit. And then I can, I can branch out from there. Because as long as I'm like putting in the time, putting in the effort into these things, it's going to grow.
and maybe decide which day out of the week that you're going to shift some of those Sunday responsibilities to. If you have, you know,
Sunday responsibilities. So I never really plan on anything on Sunday anyway. So like, there's no like D&D. There's nothing. So Sunday is going to be specifically for just making sure my laundry's done, letting my little vacuum run around my little room here, and then working on the project. So it should have plenty of time to get the stuff I want to get done.
you could just buy a vacuum and return your very expensive vacuum you have to watch,
I
babysit.
will not replace Clean Elizabeth with anything else.
Excuse me, I thought it was Vlad the Inhaler.
It was, but then he malfunctioned a little bit, or his profile did, so it became Clean Elizabeth.
Okay. These dictators and rulers. All right. We know who will be subjected to the AI. We know. Robots will control you.
That's
All
true.
right.
Probably give me a better life than the one I have, so I'm all for it. Alrighty. Is there anything else you want to say before we close it out here?
I really hope that listening to us kind of display our ups and downs over time really kind of helps you to look at yourself, see how you're similar, and maybe come up with a better way of dealing with it than just yeah, reacting to it like we seem to do. Hopefully it jump starts a little bit of your own situation.
Yeah, it's hard coming on here and just admitting to how much you failed during the week. It's embarrassing. It's facing the choices you made during the week. And I mean, you've heard us talk, like we don't pull any punches. We talk about how we felt about things, reasons why we didn't do it, where we're bearing our soul, and sometimes it's hard to do that, and especially when it's when we failed, which yeah, we've been failing.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many different angles to getting things done. One of them is like, okay, well, when's your deadline for having this book done? You know,
Yeah.
when's Project Pancake going to be done? I mean, without a deadline, dreams are just dreams, right? That's what they always say, right? It's like without a solid date, you know. So, you know, there's all these aspects we could say like, okay, well, maybe if we made a date of when these things are going to be done, then that will help push us to
Yeah.
realizing that these things need to be done faster,
And
and
then,
will.
yeah. Yeah, you might be right about that. And I think the only way to make it to put any validity behind it would be to like announce it on here at some point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, if we were like going to be saying like, oh yeah, we're going to be done by the end of this year, yeah, that's probably not going to happen based on our current rate. But could we say something like, you have 2 weeks to get page two done? I mean, then at least you know that page two is going to be done, right?
Right.
I mean, I I would say saying a 1 week is just too little, but I mean, it's taken maybe like over a month to work on page two. So maybe if we say like within, like give yourself an extra, thing, and maybe say like, hey, in 3 weeks I'm gonna have this done no matter what. I would like to get it done earlier.
Right.
Maybe some of these tweaks I have in the week are going to make that happen. But for sure, the deadline is like 3 weeks from now. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
then you at least have that pressure. To that it's not really like it's a deadline, but it's not like a hard deadline. You know what I mean? It's kind of an easy, relatively speaking, deadline, considering
Yeah.
you've already got most of the page done. What do you think
Yeah,
about
I
that?
think I think a fair like saying it's going to be done by the 15th.
Okay. Okay. Maybe write that down. Have that somewhere where you can see it.
Yeah. Maybe maybe deadlines might be a good way of motivating us to get this done quicker.
So, aspects like that, they have validity too when it comes to getting things
Mm-hmm.
done. Um, I've always been on the side of, okay, well, when I'm actually, writing as a writer, I won't have to worry about word counts and all that stuff because I'll just be so, but until then, all these things kind of help.
Yeah. No, they really do. I think I like that. I think having deadlines and then like basically if we say them on here, then we're accountable for them, and that adds a validity to them that it doesn't happen if I just like, okay, well I want to get this done by then. Like there's no accountability for it. Well, here saying it on here there is.
And if you're able to even resemble the week that you're talking about, having all of Sunday to be able to work on your
Yeah.
stuff,
I mean, okay, so
that's a lot of time.
I used to when, I had all of my time. I could start a day and finish a day and have a illustration completed. Like it just takes a day. Like I'm not saying that every page is only going to be like a day's worth of work,
Right.
but
No,
I'm
because
saying a lot
sometimes
of them
you
could
need to
be.
churn.
Yeah, I need to churn, I need to learn, and yeah, I need to get feedback
Mhm.
and fix things, but a lot of it is like theoretically it could take me like 2 days, like if I had the time. 2 days, if I or no. Let me correct myself. Not if I had the time, if I made the time, because there's a difference. I could say the rest of today and all of tomorrow, I have nothing planned now. I'm canceling everything. I'm going to make time for this, which is going to be finishing, page 2, and then using Saturday and Sunday, finish page 3. Like that, it could be that simple, but I draw it out for I don't know what reason. It's like I work on it a little bit here and a little bit there, and I make fine progress. Like it's coming along nicely. It's just taking forever.
Patterns. I mean, I base myself on patterns. I have a pattern I follow, which is, I have an ideal pattern in my mind, and then I have the pattern of what I actually do. But what you're kind of saying is basically, kind of brings that up to me. It's like, okay, well, if my pattern is right, I should be able to overcome this.
Yeah, I need
Are
to
you setting up
actually.
your pattern right in the week? It sounds like you could. I mean, you don't have to cancel your life. You don't have to, you
Right.
know.
But I'm just
But
like that
are
was just
your
an example. Like what I
patterns
could
going to
be.
be make you able to accomplish what you want to accomplish in the time frame that you want to accomplish it in?
Mm-hmm. I think with I think with this setup, I could. If I draw daily and I work on the project daily and I spend Sunday as my really hammering in Project Pancake, I feel as though I would be getting a lot done. Like a lot done. And even if it was only like 30 minutes a day on drawing and 30 minutes a day on Project Pancake, like on the weekdays that I don't have work, or when I'm working, if it's only like 30 minutes like for lunches or whatever, like at least I'm making that project or making that progress. And I'm also making it a daily ritual. So that way it's easier to pick up the pencil the next day, or it's easier to, flip open Photoshop and paint. I think this is good. I want to try this out and see how it feels. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for the deadline. I'm excited that there's a deadline of September 15th. And it may come to a point where I spend just more days on, and like if we want to discuss a deadline to set for the project, that may help us also really time things out a little bit more, and we can know if we're ahead or behind.
Well, in order to start to do that, you know, I feel like there needs to be an estimation in like the average page,
Right.
because to arbitrarily go, yeah, this many months we're going to be done, is putting too much pressure on you specifically. Because I mean, if it's taken almost 2 months, let's say, to do the page two, to say it's going to be done in 6 months is an unreasonable expectation at this point until you have basically come up with um, a new page expectation for yourself. So I feel
Mm-hmm.
like we shouldn't do that until you feel like you can kind of expect a certain level of results from yourself and be confident in that.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
At that
part of
point,
the
we can.
results expectation may be having a deadline. So I am excited to see how this goes and seeing because I've always considered myself someone who works good under pressure. So it might be good. I'm excited to see what this deadline does.
Yeah, I mean, my thought is this, and that's, let's say this helps you knock out page two. Okay, but you're already almost done with page two. So realistically, the real data that we're going to have is between
Page
on page three.
right.
So
Well,
once
3
we
and 4.
know,
It's a combo page.
yeah, a combo page. But once we basically know when the next thing, how long it can really take you when you have a decent pattern of getting these things done, then we can estimate when the whole project can be done, depending. And that
Yeah.
might help us after that. But right now, I just think it's unrealistic to even pretend like we can come up with a reasonable estimation.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm excited. Cool. I
Cool.
feel hopeful. I feel motivated. I feel excited.
And I feel, I don't know how I feel. I, I just, I want to feel, okay? I don't feel anything about what I've done lately. I want to have a reaction to what I've done,
And how do you do that?
getting things done.
And how like
So,
how do you, well, I mean, no, I think we're on the right track there. Like, but how do you get things done? Like, what's
filling in these check boxes, these word counts, these days. I want to actually have something down on this. I think this new format that I visually see it is more fun to me to want to fill in something than the other methods at which I have written down. They're a little more boring. This is more exciting to feel like, yeah, I want to fill this in. I want to feel like I did a good job, and therefore feel something next week.
okay? Cool beans. All right. Is there anything else you want to cover before we close it out here?
I'm good.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for watching. What's a funny quip we can end it with?
That's all you, man.
All right. Stay in school. Stay cool. You can tell James loved it.